Welcome to the Art of Braids. I'm your host, Karen Tenord, and today's topic is a really good one. It's about from vision to success. And our special guest, Tashana Miles, is going to talk or speak on building a beauty brand and empowering creatives. I am big on beauty and how beauty and creativity kind of go hands in hand when it comes to shapes, designs, colors, all of that plays big in the beauty industry. But I think most recently we have really honed in on being an artist in its own. And I feel like Tashana is definitely a braid artist from all of the masterpieces that I've seen of your work. So I'm not gonna delay this, but I want everybody to welcome Tashana Miles of or AKA Tasha.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
So please tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're from, and a little bit of what got you into your craft.
So I'm from Jamaica and I started braiding when I was like 12 years old, just out of curiosity of like, I used to see like guys walking with design in their hair and I'd be like, ooh, I'm curious. I guess that was my art form. Like, people like drawing because I used to sketch like clothes and stuff like that. But I guess that was where I find my passion of artwork is just through braiding and creating designs from what I would see from like young men walking on the street. And so that's how I started. I started at 12 just by just being curious.
I love that because mine is close, like similar to that age. I started drawing
Hmm.
because my brother used to draw, and there was like this artist that come to the school to elementary and he used to draw a lot, and I'm like, oh my God. So I kind of picked that up, but then I put it down. And then for me, braiding was like, that's not really a career. Like that's
Yeah.
just something that people go to, like the African shops, they'll get their hair done, and it seems like a sweatshop, right? Like
Yeah.
it. So I used to be like, no, but I felt like I was able to create or tie in that like the art and start
Yeah.
drawing into doing it on someone's head. So
Yes.
so I feel like when you just said like I seen these guys walking past and I'm like, oh, because guys are big on designs.
Yeah, they're big on design. Those are my first clientele, guys. And still one of my favorite clientele is guys. And children. Children used to be like a big one for me too when I was younger, because when I started, it was more like people would trust me doing their kids' hair and the fellas would trust me with doing their hair. And, women are more like particular, like, oh, I don't know if she could do my hair that good. Like, oh, you know what I'm saying?
Can you do
But
this?
the guy's gonna give you chances, and even though they might be sketchy about their hair, they gonna let you do the kids' hair, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I really started doing kids and guys and older people. And I would do it just for fun at first. And it was never like a career path for me, but it just kind of happened.
Yeah, it's usually the people start following you and be like, and then word of mouth, and then
Yeah.
like, oh, go to this person. You be like, well, I don't got no other
Yeah.
time to do anything else but hair. So now this is my career.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing that with me. It definitely ties into what we I think
Yeah. Is a common ground right there.
very so I'll dive into our first like discussion point. So one of them are the entrepreneurial beginnings, which you kind of tapped on. So I wanted to kind of like speak on what early challenges that you were faced with now coming into the beauty industry.
Uh Challenges. I am not going to be I'm not going to be dishonest with you and say there was much of a challenge. I don't know, maybe because I look at every challenge as an opportunity to just like grow. But when I started, again, it wasn't like a career choice, right? So it wasn't like I say, hey, I want to do this and like as a career, as my business path or anything like that. It was just something that I enjoyed doing. And so when I started doing it, first I would work with other people, like work in people's salon. And again, I only did it for spare time because my passion that I thought in career as a career choice was to be an accountant because I love numbers. Yeah, so my passion is numbers. So, but I never really got a chance to pursue it because even though I was doing hair as like my pastime, it becomes like this thing where it just keep on demanding me and demanding me and demanding me. So I never really had like a real challenge when it comes to the beauty industry. I think it was more so like just working in different environment. What was the challenge? That was the challenge. It's like, who am I working with at this moment? Do they inspire me, or do I feel like I'm not getting enough support, or am I wanted in this area or this place or whatever the case may be? I think that's the only part I would say would be challenging is sometime working with other people. Yeah.
It's never the craft, it's always the people.
It's always that part. So so luckily I was like you said, word of mouth, right? So luckily I was really passionate about what I do, and I do it with so much love that I got attention from it just naturally and organically. So I never really fight to be in a certain position or certain place. It was more so offered to me, so uh, that's my honesty right here. I never really had like a challenge where it's like I'm trying to get to this place and I didn't get there. It's more like I just do it with passion and love, and it just flows. I think it's God.
Ooh, yes. I'm like, I love a conversation that throws God in there. Like you were like, because in this industry, in entrepreneurship or anything like that, you have to have faith
Yeah.
in something. And I like the fact that you said you don't see things as a challenge, more of an opportunity.
Hmm.
It gives listeners like a new way of thinking instead of saying like, I'm met with this. How can I can't go through, like I can't go through, and it's more
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah. As an example, right? So I remember when I just started working on my own, because I used to work for other people, the salon world. And when I decided to go on my own, I was doing it for some time, like in a barber shop, and then I decided I wanted to go to a hair salon because the barber shop was a little bit ratchet, okay? So it was crazy. The guys had no behavior, but they showed a lot of respect for me, and I love it and I missed it. But there are times where when my clientele started to grow, it was time to say, okay, because now before it was guys and the kids, and now it's like, bomb, I'm getting all the females too. So it's just like it wasn't fitting, right? And so I went to this person salon to work, and while working there, she was happy at first to get me there because she didn't have that much people coming in. And she was excited, like, oh, finally, we're going to have somebody else working here. And then I think after a while, she started seeing that I was getting too much people in there. So she started finding like excuses, like all type of reason, like my clients were a problem. I'm just like, this is opportunity because she was offering a different service than I do. And this is how I look at it. I'm just like, I'm not taking anything away from you. I'm actually, if you really look at it in a different perspective, you actually could gain from what is happening here. But I think some people just look at things so differently. It's like, oh, I don't have that much people in my chair, so this person having that much people in their chair is a problem. But no, how about the fact that the more people coming in, they're able to see what you're doing. And maybe one day when I'm not available, they could look at you and be like, you know what? I always see that girl working over there and she does good work. Let me go check her out.
Exactly.
That's a better way to look at it instead of looking at it like, oh, you know? And so she was like giving me a very hard time. I got a little bit depressed because I got comfortable there and I got a little bit depressed and I was like, oh my God, now I gotta go search for another place to move and da da da. And one day I got home and I was like, what are you stressing about? You have the clientele. Find a place for yourself. And I literally look online at 2 o'clock in the morning and I find a small little space in like a side street. And I was just like, you know what? Maybe it's time to go on my own, you know? And it's like those little challenges sometimes it just pushes you to the next level that you weren't thinking about. Cause I never thought I was gonna open a salon. It
Mm.
wasn't a vision of mine. It wasn't like my end goal or anything or like I was just doing what I like to do. And wherever someone accept me to be, I'll be there doing it lovingly and willingly. But then God is saying like it's time to grow and you're not even recognizing it because sometimes it's not your intent, right? It's not what you're envisioning, but you doing what you love. And I feel like when you do something that you really love and passionate about, the sky is not even a limit to you, you know?
Yeah, no,
So challenges sometimes are rough, but sometimes is an open door.
yeah, and I'll just add to that before we go on to the next question, topic.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when when God wants you to move, he makes things uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, I
You
believe that.
can move regardless. Like you'd be like, no, but then it's like, what? Like, okay, like let me.
Okay, you gonna stay here forever? Get up.
Right. So that is so good. And I think this theme of this year is um ownership or like on your own, or like I think you saying that again is like he's, wanting me to do this on my own because I feel like we get too dependent on other people and their dreams that we forget we have our own.
Yeah.
So yes, yes. So when we're talking about empowering creatives, which I love it. So you spoke on like now you're getting women. So the fact that I think now women are wearing their hair in total different ways than before,
Mm-hmm.
or was weaves and like of course now there's still wigs and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The designs and like they're more creative and they don't care no more. They're wearing sneakers and jerseys. They're just doing it more heavily now, and they're like
Yeah.
putting this feminine touch to it.
Mm-hmm.
So, as someone who's focused on empowering other beauty professionals, how do you believe stylists and entrepreneurs can best support each other to foster growth within the industry, especially given the fact that you're able to kind of like tap into multiple genders and like tie those in.
I think people should focus more on their passion versus competition. Yeah. Focus on yourself and being your genuine self and less about what you think someone else might stop or take away from you or block you from. And I think that's the best way to like support yourself and support others is just focus on being genuinely yourself and don't focus on like what other people got going on.
Right.
That's the best way. It's so simple because it's like you're not only helping someone else, you're also helping yourself. Because what happened is like back in Jamaica, right? There's a saying that said when you point one finger, there's like four pointing back at you, right? Or three pointing back at you. So it's like you're watching what someone else has going on, but you're not really watching yourself. Yourself is mainly the person that you need to focus on. And sometimes it's like you're focused on trying to block someone else, or you're focused on someone else blocking you. It's creating like it's like a cosmic effect. You understand what I'm saying? It's like and like the whole atmosphere is like the energy is changing, you know? So you have to focus on your energy and what energy you're given. And most times, I'm telling you, 90% of the time, the energy that you give is what you're going to get. And if you get like that 10% bad energy, that means you don't belong there.
Exactly. You don't belong there. Listen to it, feel it, and
Feel
understand,
it.
you reap what you sow.
Yeah.
So, like, and we're dealing with hair. So,
Yeah.
the
Oh, it's
transfer,
even bigger. It's like the energy that you transfer into the head. It's so much. It's so spiritual. You wouldn't even understand. It's so spiritual because most stylists are therapists in their own right. You know what I'm saying?
right?
So just move with the right energy and you should be fine.
Amen. Okay. So now we spoke about energy and the transfer of stuff like that. So we're talking about now we're gonna go into balancing creativity and business because
Mhm.
that's one of the things that like you kind of like touched on. We didn't go into deep.
Too deep.
Yeah. As a creative and a business owner, how do you balance the need of artistic expression with the demand of running a successful beauty business? And
Oh,
do you have
that's a hard one.
advice on those who are struggling to find the balance?
That's a hard one. You need a team. However that may be, if you're running a salon, you need a team of stylists that understand your brand. If you're just a session worker that you only do like, celebrities or, set campaign stuff like that, you need to get yourself an agent. Because if you're focused on the business, it takes away from your creativity. And if you focus too much on your creativity, it takes away from your business. Both of them don't go hand in hand.
This is okay. That's so you touched on having an agent and having a team.
Hmm.
Like, so I see, of course, you have an agent, which is really good because that person was on it, especially like when you are using your hands and you're working and you're speaking to clients and giving consultations and all of this stuff.
So much.
It's hard for your brain to kind of like switch on and switch off,
Yeah.
you know.
I did it for a very long time, so I know it's super hard. Like I just now get into a place where I'm just like, baby, you can't do it all. And it's so hard to find good team. It's so hard to find good people. It's so hard, but you have to try because you will feel like you will get to a place where you feel like you don't even want to do it anymore. Because
Mm.
I've gotten to that place.
So
Yeah.
when those times come, don't it be like an opportunity or something that just puts that back into you and you'd be like, oh,
Yeah. And to be honest, I don't know. God may work with me a different way. Maybe he just be like, girl, don't give up. But a lot of times when I get to that breaking point, that's when like an opportunity happens.
oh,
And I think that's when it's most times I know like, okay, that's it. You know? So it's like, because a lot of times I'll be second guessing myself on what I want to do. Because for a long time I was like, do I want an agent? I don't want an agent. Like, what are they gonna do? I'm focused now. I'm focused on like, oh my god, they just want percentage of my money. Oh my god, it's just like too much. How are they gonna, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about all the negativity, and I'm not thinking about the positive. But I knew within myself what I needed and what I wanted, right? And I keep on second guessing myself because I let these little things and just come and distract my thought, and then get to a place where I was just like, oh my God, I can't do this no more. What? And then Bob, an agent, came and was like, hey, I want to interview you. And I'm just like, you know what? Let's give it a try. I didn't even like look for me because it's good to shop around, right? But I didn't even look too many places. I'm just like, maybe it's God. I always say, maybe it's God. And I jump with it. And I'm not scared of risk. And I think that's a good thing is like when God speaks to me a lot of times, I listen. So, and I'm not scared to be like, okay, maybe it wasn't God talking. Maybe it was somebody else. You know?
Let's be
But
honest.
most of the time it is God speaking. I'm lucky.
Oh, I
Yeah, so yeah. So I think team support, help, seek the help that you need when it comes to business and creativity because they don't go hand in hand. They really don't.
I love that. And when you spoke about team, I'm just gonna go a little bit into it. Now, I've seen you at these fashion shows and on these sets. And
Mm-hmm.
the- I was like, you have to have a huge team because the hairstyles,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that's not no 30-minute hairstyle that have like the cornrows, like kind of like the fishtail, but not.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, not only are they like small, they're neat, like they're precise. And then as a braider, I'm like, how long did that take? How much time did they give you? Like, it's just, can you please, like, what does that look like?
Okay, so yeah, a lot of times it's a team of people. They hire people from different walks of life, different, like different places. Some of us are coming from Europe, America, wherever, they find talented hairstylists to like build a team to bring these looks alive, and a lot of time it requires prepping. Like sometimes we may do braids the same day, but a lot of times we do the braids the day before and then we'll do the finished touches on set, like for the shows. So it's not it don't watch the videos. Watch it, but don't bust your brain.
Because I'm like, oh my God. Okay, good. That makes more sense. Where it's like a
Yeah.
good
It's nothing that is impossible. It's really it's like, a lot of times it require prepping. We may prep a day before. Sometimes we may have to bust down one or two people the same day, but that's not what we do. Like we're not even trying to create that reality because that's too much pressure on us, right? Because then they're gonna hire all type of braiders and expect them to like just do like work miracles. So we go there and say, hey, this is how it's going to be done the best way possible. So yeah, it does require prepping and we do prep.
thank you for also setting the bar and the standard so that
Oh,
we
thank you.
don't undermine other people and then kind of like pressure them into this. I need to do this in an hour, and you're sitting there like,
Yeah. I mean, sometimes there is pressure like a day of a show, and sometimes there might be a model who might have a show before that show that we're working on, and then they couldn't get their hair braided before, and then but that's when the team matters because then you have like four people. If it's somebody passing the comb, the gel, the hair, and everybody got to work knowing that the goal is to get this person done within this time. No ego involved, you know what I'm saying? So it's good to have a team that really works well and understand that is the end goal that really matters.
hmm,
Yeah.
heavy on the no ego involved. So
Yeah.
now,
I'm heavy on energy. I'm heavy on it because it changes the whole dynamic of things.
it does.
So
It like when it's good, it's so amazing. Like it's fulfilling, and you're able to exchange like that
yeah.
high where you're like, oh my God, this was amazing. Or you could be,
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah.
I don't want to be
And
here.
I'm telling you, sometimes it's there, sometimes it comes, but you gotta work that thing out.
It's true. So now, when it comes to the future of the beauty industry,
Yeah.
with this past week looking right, We don't know how this is going to affect us moving forward in the beauty.
Mm-hmm.
I know with 2020, it definitely affected us where we were deemed non-essential as far as like how laws work and things like that when it comes to the beauty industry. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and right now it's constantly evolving. Where do
Yeah.
you see it heading in the next few years, and how are you planning to adapt and continue growing within the ever-changing landscape?
Well, um, what I see is, man, it's so deep. The economy don't get better. We're looking at more people trying to do their own hair because they don't got that much money to spend.
Oh, let's speak.
And and so, I'm give you I mean, it's hard, right? Because we as creative, we want to play up in people's hair all the time, and we need to pay our bills. But we have to evolve with ever changing environment and everything else, because everything plays a part, right? So I think we should work on other stuff like building maybe a product brand or something, and I feel like a lot of people are doing that already, and we should continue with that. And also teaching people, like, have classes, pop-ups, stuff like that, like just build on the community to where we depend on each other more and support each other more. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the best way I see moving forward, because now we're in a situation we don't know what's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to say without saying it. We don't know. In the past 48 hours, things have like, mm, you know.
Exactly. I totally.
Um, yeah. So it's like, so now it's up about community. I think it's more so about community and how we could grow together and support each other in the best way possible. I think that's the best way. Yeah.
I
In
like.
the beauty, in everything right now, beauty, everything is just more so community. Like hairstylists now need to connect with maybe estheticians and makeup artists, and what I'm saying, and the nail tech, and do stuff together. I mean, I started it. I'm doing my salon this weekend. I'm having like a little event with an esthetician. We having like little giveaways and discounted prices and give back. And
Mhm.
when you give back, people support you more. So it's, you know what I'm saying? So that's how we gotta evolve right now, is how we could grow together and
Right.
build on our community and stick together in that aspect.
I think your common theme has been like community and collaboration, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That is the best way to go about the beauty industry. Like having this conversation today is also kind of like
A collaborative moment.
yeah, where
Mm-hmm.
it's like, okay, how you think, how like I agree on now. Like, you know what, I never seen it in that way. Because even this question that I asked you about how do we see this thing, I didn't even think to the part where it's like, yeah, more people are gonna be like, I'm doing this myself, because a lot of my clients, some of them have lost their income uh because they've been laid off from different things. So I'm there like, whoa, like
Yeah.
like, how can I now also help my clients in that thing? Because then it's like they become somewhat family almost because,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
so it's like, how can you pour into them or give back in a certain way, or just kind of like show them that it's more than the money. It's
Yeah.
more like how well-being, like how are you?
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
I love the fact that you spoke on like the community and collaborating with other people with within and outside of the industry, because you can work with stylists, designers, when I mean the stylists, designers, or food, right? Fitness,
Yeah.
so many.
Fitness, everything. I mean, that's where I see myself going, right? I'm just giving you like what I think I'm gonna work on is like collaborating more with people outside of even hair, you know what I'm saying? And build like a community and let it be more than just about hair and about wellness and beauty and everything, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I get it.
That's yeah. That's the way. That's the best way to evolve. Like with everything that's going on, that's what you got to do, and we got to give better services. Because to be honest, we don't be giving that much good services. So we got to focus on making people feel like they want to be there. Like, oh my God, I can't wait to go over there. Like, oh, they treat me so well. You know
Exactly.
what I'm saying? So we got to focus on services. And, we could talk about hair all day. We could talk about creativity. We could talk about how it's evolving. Like, if you look at braids now and like 10, 15, 20 years ago, is different. Everybody's like killing it, doing really beautiful looks, being really creative. But what's next?
Ooh,
Besides doing beautiful braids, like what's next? You have to, in order to keep your clientele or grow your clientele, you possibly got to give more.
yeah.
Yeah.
See,
So
see, y'all hear that? Okay. You gotta give more and think outside of the box
yeah.
and think outside of just creating. Because at the end of the day, we are getting older and we will have to retire at some point. We can't do this. So it's like, what other streams the economy will also affect us, right? So
Yes,
like,
exactly. And this is why we do other things, like even having your own little beauty brand, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Have your own little something, anything that you feel like you could promote and sell that to, even if somebody can't spend $200-300 on their head, they could support you with 10, 15, $20.
exactly. Don't turn anybody away. Anybody who wants to
Yeah,
support you, but there are
yeah,
some people. So
yeah, they're supporting you. Exactly.
um you heard me. So the last three questions is what is more about getting to know you as a person. What is something people are surprised to know about you? I know you spoke on like the accounting because that was very
Oh
surprising.
yeah, I think that part. I think that yeah, I'm big on numbers. If you want somebody to, help you with budgeting and stuff like that, I'm your friend.
At the skills. It's you. There's many levels and layers to braiders. It's not like the past where people are just like, oh, go to this braider and they only do that one thing. Oh no, we wear many hats out here.
Yeah, yeah.
You have to. You have to. Now this one is, what book or resource would you recommend?
Oh, I'm not even a book person, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's why I'm a numbers person. I'm not a book person. But I like to research a lot. Like if I'm gonna do something new that I have no idea about, I Google a lot. I do Google a lot. I would stay up all night and I would go to different sources, finding different sources just to get the information that I need. So I do a lot of researching. I
Okay.
research a lot.
Which is very normal because it's like if you haven't gone into a certain industry or a new craft or a new thing, then it is very important that you don't,
You do your research. Yeah.
go in there blind. Like just
Yeah.
try to figure out as much as you can.
Yeah.
Now
Stay informed. Yeah.
exactly. So now the last thing would be, how can people support and connect with you?
Support. Oh, book an appointment. Follow me on Instagram, show me some love. Send me a DM. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
I take support, love, however it comes. Just show me some love. If you see me on the street, say hi. If you see me put up a video, click like. If you want to see me in person, book an appointment. Let's chat.
Listen, so like Tasha
Yeah.
said, find her on Instagram at Tasha_World of Styles.
Yes.
And like I want to say thank you again for carving out some time in your busy schedule. Because so I already know, and plus today is Thursday. So this like closer when it comes to stylists and hairstylists.
Yeah. I literally was watching a client here just now, but I pass it on to one of my stylists to finish up.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome, and thank you for having me. I hope I answer all your questions clearly, and I hope it's helpful to the next stylist or anyone that's venturing into something creative. Because being in the creative world could be tough for a lot of people, and it's hard to balance life being creative and being successful. So, not a lot of people has figured it out, but I hope this kind of helped them to never give up
Mhm.
and to continue dreaming and, you know, being an inspiration to other people as well and just love what they do.
Amen. Thank you again. And everybody listening, again, it is your host, Karen Tenord. I am speaking with Tashana Miles of Tasha World of Styles. And thank you. Listen, I'll see you on the next time.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Have a great day. Bye
Bye.
bye.